Is that okay?
Yeah, I have dogs. Okay. I have dogs.
Okay, good.
He can tell.
I know, he looks like a dog first. He's like, you're cool.
Hey, man. Hey, buddy. Hi, buddy. Morning, guys. All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's get going. Good morning to you two. How you doing?
That's my baby.
Oh,
Ashley.
3 generations.
Yeah.
Boom. Well, yeah, thank you guys for coming. Can I just see a show of hands for who's new to the studio? Sweet. Thank you guys for being here. My name's Cameron. Again, this is Kristen. This is my wife, Lauren. She also teaches for Aum Vibe. So if you keep hanging out with us, you'll probably see the 3 of us at some point. But yeah, so Valentine's Day. Great day for some people, maybe not so much for others for various reasons. But at very least, it is kind of, you know, an opportunity for us to just kind of like be grateful for the people that we do have in our lives, whether it's a spouse or just somebody that we care about. So it's really cool. This whole cluster over here is a little family. Got 3 generations of Kimmy's family here. And yeah, I just want to share with you guys real quick. I'm going to be releasing a essay on my blog later today. Today's actually the 18th anniversary of when I lost my mom. So not to put like a weighted blanket on things here, but over time, you know, that's plenty of time to kind of process this sort of thing. And it's, rather than being something that's really held me down and made me feel bad, I feel like every year I just learn something new from it. So I figured we can kind of carry that into our starting meditation this morning. So maybe just close your eyes, take a seated or a lying position that feels comfortable. Somewhere where you feel like you can be still and calm without too much effort or energy. Just kind of close your eyes. So a lot of times in our yoga classes we have the moment of gratitude, which at varying times can be less or more meaningful. But for now, I want you guys to just bring one person into your mind's eye who maybe you don't take the time to appreciate quite as much as you maybe should. Just take a couple big breaths to see how the vision of that person in your mind's eye makes you feel. So now that you have that person in your space, so to speak, we're going to do a little metta meditation, which is a loving kindness meditation. So you can keep your hands placed on your knees or maybe place one hand on your heart, whatever feels more appropriate for you. Just see if you can devote every single passing thought just for the next minute or two, just devoting as much kindness and love to this person as you can. So it could be a parent, a spouse, it doesn't matter. Just taking a moment to wish them happiness and peace. May they live a life that's free from suffering. Just with 3 final big breaths, just finding a little bit more concentrated gratitude for this person in your life. Just remembering that There are no guarantees. So being grateful while we can, spending the time while we can. And then with that third exhale, just see if you can clear your mind a little bit. We're going to take this one step further and see if we can kind of carry this sense of compassion and gratitude out to somebody else. So I want you to bring somebody new into your mind's eye, somebody that maybe you have a little bit of a strained relationship with. So don't go too crazy with this. Somebody that maybe you just tend to disagree with often, or somebody that's in your life that you have a slightly strained relationship with. And to see if you can make their image crystallize in your field of vision. And then just do the same thing. Take about 10 breaths here. As you inhale, offering them peace, compassion, love. And as you exhale, see if you can just relax any areas of tension that you may have felt when you started picturing this person. So imagine you're filling your heart with love, and with each exhale, a little bit of that physical tension bleeds away. Begin to notice how your breath starts to feel a little bit bigger, a little bit less forced. And of course, using this opportunity to remember that these big breaths are your body's way of normalizing, of letting you relieve anxiety naturally. May this person be free from suffering. May they live a life of peace and joy. All right, guys, with this final breath, relax all the muscles in your face one last time, and with your exhale, completely relaxing as much as you can. Let your hands fall if they came up to your chest. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes a little bit. So we were sitting for a fair amount of time, so maybe just kind of check in with your body, see how your ankles, your knees, your hips are feeling as we start to make our way into our physical asana practice. Now, as you start feeling those little tiny movements, start to make them a little bit bigger. Maybe just start rolling out your wrists a little bit, just moving your arms. If you need to straighten your legs out in front of you and wiggle them out a little, maybe do that. Side to side with the neck. Maybe a little twist, just kind of start to make this a little bit more natural for your body. See what you need to kind of initiate movement in your practice this morning. Then we'll start with 5 seated cat-cow. So it doesn't matter if your legs are straight or your knees are bent. Hands on thighs, big inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, round your back, chin to chest. 4 more, inhale, lift your chest, coordinating breath and movement. Exhale, round down. 3 more times on your own. So we're initiating this breath, movement, coordination, and kind of making the commitment to carry that into the rest of your practice and the rest of your day. After that final exhale, roll your spine up to a neutral position, so finding a straight spine. One last time, relaxing your face. And then make your way down into a child's pose, feet at the back of the mat, hands at the front of the mat. It's kneeling down. All right, so maybe you feel a little bit of relief here, but this, again, is just a chance to check in with your body from some different dimensions. So how do your knees and your hips feel? A little bit more compression involved, so maybe wiggle your butt side to side a little bit, see what your hips are doing. Begin to feel that connection from your hips up through your spine to your skull. Relax your neck and maybe rock your head side to side a little bit. So if this is one of your first yoga classes perhaps, or maybe you're coming back to it after a hiatus, just kind of start to feel that sensation of I've been here before, and just trusting that your body knows where to stop, knows your limits, knows your boundaries, and then just checking in with those briefly. All right, now curl your hands even farther forward. Start to look up a little bit. Just rock your way up through a tabletop position and then drop your hips down and forward. Come into a little Cobra Pose. So a little bend in the elbows while my dog freaks out. So if you need to bend your elbows more, please do. We're just kind of checking out the low back here. Think about pressing down, pulling a little bit. Really lift your chest and wrap your shoulders back. Inhale, lift your chin, lift your gaze just a touch. Exhale, push all the way back to that child's pose. Now we're going to go through that movement, coordinating breath with movement 5 more times. So as you inhale, rock your hips forward, just dipping down as much as you need to. Lift your chest. Exhale, drop it back. So if you want to, you can turn this into a little bit more of a slithering motion, sliding your chest along the ground and just checking in with your spine. Good. Let's do 2 more of those. Sliding forward, lift your chest, shoulders back, as high as you need to be. Good. And then after that last one, whenever you've done 5, just tuck your toes and come to a downward facing dog pose. All of us are just arriving at our own pace. All right, 5 breaths in downward dog. Pedal your feet out a little bit, see how things are feeling. If you have tight hamstrings, don't jam your knees straight. Bend them a little bit. Actually, why don't we all bend our knees a little bit? Just a very subtle act of compassion for your body. Press your belly back towards your thighs a little bit. Keep your heels lifted. Just see how that changes the dynamic of this pose. Maybe you do it all the time, maybe you don't. Take a big inhale, lift your right leg up in the air. Just kind of see how it feels hanging out up there. Maybe think about keeping that standing leg a little bit bent. Just bend your knee and stack your hips so you're kicking your heel over towards the ocean. For a moment, think about drawing an arc in the air. So as you lift your knee up and back, it's like you're drawing a rainbow with your kneecap. Inhale 1 more time. Now with your exhale, swing that right foot all the way around. Shuffle your right foot to the front of the mat, set your back knee down. Interlace your hands on top of your thigh, just push away a little. Just find a little back bend here. Think about bending evenly through your whole spine, not just into your low back. Inhale, push away a little bit. Exhale, sink in a little bit more. Stay here as best you can. Interlace your fingers, turn your palms inside out and start to draw them up towards the sky. And just do a little side-to-side rock. So you're getting a little balance, just kind of getting those hips and those feet to kind of keep you stable as you go through this slightly unstable motion. Now let's spend a little bit more time leaning over to the right. So inhale, reach your arms a little bit longer. Exhale, sink your hips down and forward just a little bit more. Inhale, back to the center. Unwind your hands, reach up, look up. Both hands down, fingertips or palms to the ground. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, long leg. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, step your left foot up to meet your right foot. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, slide back down. Bend your knees, lean into your heels, roll your spine up 1 vertebrae at a time. Think about unrolling your spine just the way a fern unrolls up to the sun. Inhale, both hands up, reach. With your exhale, just open your arms as wide as you can get them. Really lift your chest. Imagine you're trying to hover off the ground for a second. And again, just a little side-to-side tilt here. Just see how that changes the dynamic of this simple position. Spread your fingers, spread your toes a little bit. Lift your chest a little bit higher. Squeeze your butt, maybe back bend a little bit more. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, wide arms all the way down to the ground. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fingertips down, step your foot back, lower your right knee to the ground. Again, your fingers, maybe interlacing with the other thumb on top, press away. So think about drawing your shoulders down as you lift your chest up. Just a couple breaths sinking in. How does the front of your right hip feel? And then slowly drawing your interlaced fingers up. See how your shoulders feel once again, maybe a little side-to-side tilt. Noticing how every one of these tiny little movements just subtly changes the position. And then when you're ready to, lean over to the left a little bit more. Find as much length from your right heel of your hand to your right kneecap as you can. Inhale again. Exhale, back to the center. Release your fingers, both hands reach, look up. Exhale, both hands down. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Left leg up and back. Bend your knees, stack your hip, just like you did on the other side. So now you're kicking over towards the parking lot. See if you can keep both arms equally straight. Relax your neck a little bit and just kind of let your head hang. See if you can take any stress out of the equation. Lift your knee a little bit higher, kick back a little bit more. And then set both feet down side by side. Inhale, rock your weight forward to a plank position. Everybody set your knees down for this first one. So draw your low belly in, lean forward over your fingertips a little. Bend your elbows halfway. So we're just gonna hang out in this baby chaturanga for 3 breaths. Wrap your elbows in towards your body, draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Keep your abdominal muscles engaged. Take 1 more big breath. Now with your exhale, push back up to straight arms, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. All right. Inhale, push your hips back. Exhale, step or jump to the front of the mat, both feet. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Bend your knees, reach up to the sky. Get as long as you can through your whole body. Exhale, wide arms, take a little back bend. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, hands down, step back, plank position. Knees down is optional this time. Lean forward, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, eyes to the ground, chest lifts, Cobra Pose, you are already here. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Again, 5 breaths. Each time you come to your down dog, just see how it changes subtly. So really push the ground away. Gymnasts call down dog a half handstand, so think about that. You got to push the ground away a lot in a handstand, so push through your palms and your fingertips. All right, let's do it one more time. Inhale, hips back. Exhale, step or jump to the front of the mat, both feet. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, all the way down. Bend your knees, reach up, get even longer than last time. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, hands reach. This time hang here, lift your heels off the mat. Little extra challenge, close your eyes. Think about the funny face you're making. All of a sudden, throw this heels up equation into it, or heels up thing into the equation. You're like, oh no! And then set them back down again, hands to a prayer position. Inhale, sweep both hands long. Get really long through your arms. Exhale, swan dive all the way down to the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands down, step back, find a plank position. Get strong with your arms, strong with your legs. Draw your belly in. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, lower down carefully. Inhale, lift your chest up, maybe a touch higher than last time, or not. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog pose. Soften your jaw, soften all the muscles in your brow and your cheeks. Relax your eyelids. Inhale, lift your right leg up in the air. Exhale, swing your right foot forward. This time, back knee stays off the ground. Left hand down, right hand up. Taking a simple twist. So if you have your fingertips or your palms down on the ground, take a little bit of weight out of your left hand. So maybe even hover your fingertips or palm off the ground so you're really getting your legs to light up. Long arms. Inhale one more time. Now keep this shape with the upper body. Pull yourself all the way up to a revolved crescent. Spread your fingers, drop your shoulders down if you feel like you're getting stressed out. You can always put your back knee on the ground if you need to, like my wife is up in front. Lauren will be the modifier today because she got the second vaccine the other day and she's not feeling so hot, so maybe you did too. Lean back a little bit more, see if you can find the back of your left thigh with your right fingertips. Reach your left hand up. Inhale, reach a little bit longer. Exhale, windmill, both hands down to frame your front foot. Inhale, looking forward, long spine. Exhale, lift your left leg up, standing split. Let your head hang, lift your back leg, but keep your standing leg a little bent. When you look at your toes on your left foot, they should be pointing down and not out. Square your hips. Inhale, lift a little bit higher. Now with your exhale, bend both knees. Bring your left foot to hover next to your right foot. So you're still in this forward fold. Knees are bent. Slowly bring yourself up to standing. So you're standing on one leg. Hands in prayer, feet side by side. Sink down. So notice as you lean back into your heel a little bit more, you feel your hamstrings, your glutes helping your quads. So it's not just a knee dominant motion. Sink down a little bit deeper. Take 2 more breaths here. Just let that right leg work. Inhale one more time. Exhale, feet down, straight legs, find that relief. Inhale, both hands reach. Exhale, back bend again. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fingertips down, step your right foot back. Let's just come straight into the other side. So low lunge position, long spine, right hand light, left hand to the sky. Twist. So if you get stressed out sometimes and your shoulders shrug up towards your ears, which most of us do, see if you can relax that a little bit. Squeeze your shoulder blades together down and back. Get lighter on your right hand. Maybe even hover it off the ground. Challenge yourself. It's Sunday. This might be your only workout for the day. You might as well get the most out of it. Okay, just like we did before, think about pressing down through your back foot especially. Big inhale. Exhale, pull it all the way up. Come into that revolved crescent pose. And thinking moment by moment as you sink in, leaning back just subtly, and then eventually reaching back to find the back of your thigh. Again, your back knee can be down. You can do this either way. Reach as long as you can from your right fingertips down to your right hip. Sink in a little bit more. Inhale one more time. Exhale, slow up motion, both hands down to the mat. Inhale, looking forward, get ready to take off, and then take off. Right leg off the ground. Standing split, again, think about squaring your hips a little bit. Toes are pointing down instead of out. And that's really simply to facilitate this little squat position we're about to get into. So notice if your body wants to lean towards your toes a little bit more, go the other way. Lean back into your heel a little bit more. Now bend both knees. Bring your right foot down to hover next to your left foot. And then slowly peel your body up. Notice how your glutes, your hamstrings work to help you get here. Hands into a prayer position, sink in. Soften your jaw. Find one blade of grass in front of you to focus your attention on and sink in a little bit deeper. See if you can make it shake a little bit. For 3, 2, 1. Both feet down, tiptoe them apart just a little. Inhale, both hands sweep up. Exhale, hands behind your back. This time interlace your fingers, pull your knuckles down towards the mat or grab opposite elbows. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, dive down and forward. So if your fingers are interlaced and your palms are not touching, think about how your elbows feel. If your elbows are locked, bend your elbows a little bit. Work on bringing your palms and your shoulder blades closer together. Relax your neck fully, let your head hang down. All right, guys, hands to hips, hands to the ground. Shake your shoulders out a little bit, get nice and loose. Good. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, hands down, step or jump back. Lower down slowly. Inhale, lift your chest up, Cobra Pose, up dog perhaps, downward facing dog. All right, let's get the blood flowing a little bit. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, swing it forward, set it down, low lunge. Just like before, left hand down, right hand up. Inhale, get light on your left hand. Exhale, all the way up and back. Maybe tilt back, find the back of your thigh, just like before. Inhale, reach a little bit longer. Exhale, windmill, hands down to the ground. Inhale, look forward, grip the ground with your foot. Lift your left leg up. Inhale, lift your leg high. Knee to nose, squeeze it in, little crunch. 2 more times, inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Last time, inhale. Knee to nose from this compressed position. Hover your left foot next to your right foot. Again, come up, single leg squat, hands into a prayer. Shoulders down and back, lift your chest up into your thumbs, sink back into your heel a little bit more. Inhale one more time. Exhale, this time stand up, left knee in towards your chest. Inhale, arms wide. Again, peel your chest open Extend your left leg out in front of you. Inhale, lift it up a little bit higher. Exhale, leg back without touching the ground, warrior 3. Just take 3 breaths here. See what your right leg is doing to keep you stable. Back leg lifts a little bit higher, chest lifts a little bit higher, maybe fold forward a little bit more. Now we're going to land in a minute. Think about putting your foot down as carefully as you can. Big inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, step all the way back. Both hands up, crescent lunge, reaching. Exhale, cactus elbows, sink in a little bit. Inhale, both hands high. Exhale, both hands down to frame your foot. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, straighten your front leg as much as your body will allow. One more time, inhale. Exhale, straighten it out. Hold it for 3 breaths. Draw your right hip back, left hip forward. Soften your face and jaw one more time. Rebend your knee. Okay, 2 options for this next one. If you're super tired, you're going to set your left knee down. It's going to look like this. Left hand, left knee down. Swing your leg back for a modified side plank. If your wrist feels okay, step your way back into a side plank. So either knee down or knee up. Take 2 more breaths, guys. Lift your hips a little bit higher. Now think about how you're going to land. As carefully as you can, set your right hand back down on the mat. If your knee was down, put both knees down. If your knees are up, put both knees up. Inhale, lean forward, lower down again. Inhale, slide through, chest lifts. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right into the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Swing it forward, set it down. When you're ready, left hand to the sky. Get light on your right hand right away. Use your core, use your legs, pull yourself all the way up, revolve. Maybe lean back, find the back of your thigh just briefly. Inhale, reach a little bit longer. Exhale, windmill your hands down. Inhale, looking forward, lift. 3 times, long leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Again, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Last one, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, knees bent, hover your right foot. Bring yourself up, single leg chair pose, hands in prayer just to take some of that balance out of the equation. Sink in a little bit deeper, chest lifts a little bit higher. Inhale one more time. Exhale, straighten your left leg, right knee in towards your chest. Inhale, arms open wide, stand up tall. Exhale, kick your right heel forward. Just a little bit higher, one more breath. One motion, sweep your leg all the way back, warrior 3. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. Think length through the spine. Lift your back heel a little bit higher. Straighten your lifted leg, bend your standing leg. Use your muscles to support your knee. Inhale one more time. Bend your knee. Land as quietly as you can at the back of the mat. Inhale, both hands up, crescent pose. Exhale, cactus elbows, sink in a little bit. Inhale, both hands high. Exhale, both hands. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, straighten your left leg. And again, inhale. Exhale, straighten it out. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, forward. Couple breaths here. Think about finding length in your spine and just trying to touch your forehead to your thigh or your knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink in a little bit more. Okay, think one motion. We're going to come into that side plank with the right hand and right foot or knee down. So bend your knee, leaning forward, right hand down. Step into it. If that's a lot for you, please put your knee down on the ground. If your wrist hurts, please put your knee down on the ground. There's nothing impressive about getting hurt. As carefully as you can, land in your plank pose. Inhale, lean forward and lower down slowly. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 5 breaths, guys. We've gotten everything moving a little bit. Just see how your body feels. Now, even as you push the ground away and you find that length in your arms and underneath your armpits, see if you can find some length in the side of your torso too. Stretch through your waist. Think about tipping your hips up towards the sky a little bit more so you're flattening out your low back, taking out a little bit of the curve, just a little bit. All right, inhale, right leg lifts up once more. Exhale, swing it forward, set it down at the front. Again, left hand down, right hand up. Gonna add on a little bit. Pull yourself all the way up, revolved. Maybe lean back, maybe sink in a little bit more, or maybe don't. Reaching back just briefly. Inhale one more time. Exhale, slow motion, windmill, hands down to the mat. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, lift off. Left leg to the sky. Again, 3 times. Inhale, lift your leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Last time, inhale. Exhale, compress and hover. Left foot hovers off the mat. Bring yourself up. We're not here long. Chair pose, one leg. Push yourself all the way up to standing. Okay, slight variation this time. You can interlace your hands on the front of your knee. Just working on your balance. Or right hand to right hip. Left peace fingers to big toe. Inhale, chest is high. Exhale, kick it forward. You got breaths here. Think about rolling your shoulder blade back and down. Maybe gingerly start to extend your left leg out to the left. Maybe extend your right arm out to the right. Maybe if you're feeling ambitious, start to look over towards that right thumb. Or maybe don't do any of those things. If you came out to the side just as carefully, bring it back in. I know that right foot's talking to you, stay with it. Keep your leg as high as you can, extend your arms back out. Chest lifts. Both hands up, interlace your fingers except for your pointers, reach up. Sweep your hands back. Warrior 3, you can take the wide arm option if that feels better for your shoulders. Inhale, reach a little bit longer through both ends. Exhale, set your foot down at the back of the mat. Just draw a line back, look up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, a little bit more back bend if it feels good. Inhale one more time. Exhale, cactus elbows. This time set your back knee all the way down on the mat. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, sweep both hands down and frame your foot. It may help to tiptoe your foot forward slightly here. So toes crawling forward, peel your right toes back. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, straighten your front leg. So if you have super tight hamstrings and this is plenty challenging for you, just hang out right here. You can also take that twist again with your left hand down, your right hand up. Or you can walk your hands to the outside of your right leg and forward fold there. A little bit more IT bend if you're a runner. Either way, just fold over that straight right leg. Soften your jaw. Inhale one more time. Exhale, come back to the center if you twisted. Left hand, left knee is down. So this time we're all gonna take the modified side plank. So bring your right arm up, bend your right leg, see what you can do to lift. Sweep it all the way back and around. Make the necessary adjustments. So with your back knee down, we're gonna change this one up a little bit. Peel your chest open towards the sky. Now bend your right leg, that's the one that's up in the air. Reach back and grab your foot or ankle. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, kick back into your fingertips. Just a couple more breaths. Think about pushing the ground away. Lift your rib cage away from the mat as much as possible. Inhale one more time. Exhale, release what you're grabbing. Okay, right hand comes down. Keep your right leg lifted. Give me this one's for you because I know you really wanted to do it again today. Extend your right leg out to the right. Try to keep both arms straight. It's gonna shake, it's gonna be hard, just own it. For 3, 2, And 1. Set that right foot down way out to the side, toes pointing forward. Walk your hands towards the front edge of the mat. Inhale, lift your chest up, stick your butt out a little bit. Press your hips back, sink in. Take some more breaths here. Just check in. Where do you feel this stretch? All right, guys, carefully start to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. So we're going to do it one more time, a little bit more briefly, but commit to straight arms. You already know where you're going. So big inhale. Exhale, lift that right leg straight back up again. Just getting those hip muscles to light up. Inhale one more time. Exhale, sweep your right leg all the way around so you're crisscrossing your knees. Both knees down to the mat or close. Sink your hips back and down. Just transferring from that inner thigh stretch. Just like that last one, use the strength of your upper body to press back a little bit more. Just relax your forehead down. Remember, guys, this is a 75-minute class because we want to spend a little extra time winding down sporadically throughout class. So let that big breath, that big, relaxed, calm breath that you started your practice with this morning come back. Inhale one more time. Exhale, start to lift your chest back up. Uncross your knees, tabletop position. Let's just do 3 cat-cows. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, round your back. 2 more on your own. Find that breath coordination again. It's the centerpiece of your practice. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. All right, so again, in this 5 breath period, see how the right leg feels in contrast to the left leg. We just did a lot of work on that right leg, so see how it feels. Maybe bend and straighten your legs 1 or 2 more times. All right, let's do it, other side. Inhale, left leg up. Swing it forward, set it down. Again, your chest to the left, root down through both. Lift yourself all the way up and back. Find that revolved twist. Sink in a little bit more. Reach a little bit higher. Inhale one more time. Exhale with control. Land both hands to the side of your foot. Look forward. Lift. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, nose. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, knee to leg squats, sink in, hands in prayer. Lean back into your heel. Hydraulic yourself all the way up. Again, right knee pulls in, maybe just grab in if you want to keep it easy. Grab your big toe, a little bit more room, start to kick forward. Maybe you end up here. At least you're finding your starting point. Maybe you got a little bit more. If you're out in front, extend to the side. Maybe left comes out to the left. Maybe you look to the left as well. Maybe you fall over. Don't sweat it if you do. Now take a second to check in if you're making a face like you're doing your taxes. And maybe just relax and remember that you're doing yoga in a really nice park next to the ocean. Inhale one more time. Now with your exhale, back to the center, leg lifts. Again, maybe both hands come up, maybe interlace your fingers, because why not? If that's too much, arms remain wide. Inhale again. Exhale, warrior 3, just 3 breaths. So remember, if your left leg is cooking, that means you're getting stronger. Good. Inhale one more time. As quietly as you can, foot down the back of the mat. Just draw that line back. Find it a back bend. See if you can bend into your upper back just as much as your lower back. Inhale, reach. Exhale, draw back. Just one more breath here. Release your clasp, cactus elbows, peel your chest open. Gently set your back knee down, whatever way you need to get there. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, both hands down. Again, toe your foot forward slightly, or maybe shimmy your back knee back. Inhale, toes back. Exhale, straighten your front leg. All right, guys, you got several breaths here. Instead of trying to jam your knee straight from that toes back position, because that's stretching the right tissues without putting too much stress on your knee. See if you can match what you did on the other side. Your left hand comes up. Maybe hands crawl over to the left a little bit. Wherever you are, do not put any pressure on your knee with your hands. Just take one more breath, see if you can find a little bit more space. Move your hips a little bit to accommodate more stretch. Okay, if you came to the side, come back to the middle. All right, everybody, right hand, right knee down. Transitioning, sweep your left leg back. Maybe fall over like I just did. Reach back and grab your left foot when you feel like you're ready. Remember, if that's not really in the cards for you, that's okay. Do something that feels appropriate for your body. Think about using the strength of your leg to kick back in your hand and peel your chest open a little bit more. 2 more breaths. Stay deliberate, stay focused. Now as you release, slowly place your left hand down on the mat. Okay, here we go again, guys. Arms straight, both palms flat down. Extend your left leg out to the left. Try not to bend your right arm. Lift your leg a little bit higher, kick forward a little bit more. Remember, if this is hard, it's because you probably never do it. So just stay with me. 3, 2, 1. Set your left foot down way out into the grass. Walk your hands out in front of you. Press your hips back. Got a lot of breaths here. Just hang out with your hip joint. Take 2 more breaths, press back a little bit more if you've got some room. Hands underneath your shoulders, commit to straight arms. Here we go again, big inhale. Exhale, left leg lifts. Try to keep your right arm straight. 1 more breath. Swing it all the way back and around, crisscross your knees, sit back 1 more time. Press back a little bit more. Now with your exhale, releasing once again. Tabletop position, knees side by side. Just kind of swing your hips from one side to the other. Feeling those outer hips, feeling those inner hips a little bit. All right, guys, a little bit of work for the upper body, and then we're gonna transition down into a whole bunch of floor poses to finish things up today. So let's come back to downward facing dog just briefly. So again, just like we did before, checking in, see how your legs feel. We've done a lot of work on both now. All right, lean forward, plank position. If you're tired, put your knees down. Lower down, chaturanga, and then push back up. 2 more of those. Lean forward, lower down. Push back up. 3 yoga push-ups. Last one. Push back up. Okay, so we're gonna lift the right leg up and back, bend the knee, stack the hip. You can either drop back into wild thing if you want to, or don't. So if that's in your practice, it'll look something like this. Make sure you're rooting down with the thumb side of your left hand. Maybe reach your right hand forward, lift your hips up towards the sky. One more breath, a slow motion movement. Sweep your hand back and around. Right leg lifts. Set your right foot down next to your left foot. Again, lean forward. 3 more, you got this. Lower down. Push back up. 3, 2, last one. 1, downward dog. Lift your left leg up. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Drop your foot behind you if that's accessible, or just leave your leg up in the air, you choose. However, if these are the yoga poses where you're scared of falling over, there's no better place to do it than in the park. Inhale 1 more time. Exhale, sweep it all the way back and around. Set your left foot down next to your right foot. Lean forward into a plank position. Last piece here. Set one elbow down, set the other elbow down into a plank. Now unlock your knees if they're bent. Walk your knees towards your armpits. Lift your hips up, press your chest back. Dolphin pose. This is pretty much everybody's least favorite pose. Specifically guys, I've noticed, so you guys keep pushing through it. You can do it. Push the ground away, press your chest back, walk your feet in 1 more inch. Let's do 5 more breaths here. This may be the hardest thing you do today. Just own it. You can do this. Push the ground away. Get your head as far away from the ground as you can. You're almost there. 3, 2, 1. Knees down, child's pose. Good job, guys. Grab a drink of water if you need it. Shake it off a little bit. And then meet me back in child's pose whenever you're done hydrating or disrobing or whatever it is that you're doing right now. Just like the very beginning, take 1 big old breath in. Exhale, let it go. Nice big sigh. All right, guys, come back up to your tabletop and then a downward facing dog. So we'll get there a couple different ways. So the first movement, right leg lifts 1 more time. Bring your right knee towards your right wrist. So before we come down into a pigeon pose, we're gonna get into a little side body stretch. Slide your left knee in towards the arch or the back edge of your right foot. So you're kind of coming to this figure 4 stance. So my front leg is still kind of diagonal. Now you're gonna take your right hand, slide it down your right thigh, reach your left hand up and across. Just getting a little side body stretch, little hip opener. So you're leaning towards your right leg. Think about peeling your chest open a little bit more. Drive your left hip forward. So we're kind of initiating the stretch that's gonna lead into a pigeon pose here in a second. Inhale 1 more time. Now with your exhale, bring both hands down in front of your knee. Just take that left knee and slide it way back. If you need an alternative because your knee hurts, come onto your back, cross your right leg over your left leg like this. Remember, it's totally fine to listen to your body. Murphy's listening to his body on my sweatshirt currently. So inhale, find a little lift through your chest just briefly. Exhale, curl your hands out in front. If you're on your back, just pull your knees in towards your chest a little bit more with each passing breath. Maybe a little rock side to side, see how your hips feel here. All right, guys, hands underneath your shoulders. So if you're on your back, you can just stay down there, that's totally fine. You find a little lift here. If you want to just hang out in this kind of proud pigeon position, you can. If you want to place your right hand on your right knee, reach back and capture your left foot. We're not going to be here long, just a couple breaths if you want to give this a try. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Either way, find a little lift in your chest. If you're on your back, just pull in a little bit more. Keep working on that position. Inhale one more time. Exhale, release what you're grabbing. Okay, now take that left knee, slide it behind the crook of your right knee so you're crisscrossing your knees again. This time we're gonna sit all the way back on our butts. So if you're on your back, you can just slide your knees closer together so you're closing the gap between your knees on your back, like so. Grab ankles, grab shins, pull in. Just getting into the hip a little bit more. Now, if you're seated, see if you can walk your feet a little bit wider. Maybe your knee's up, maybe it's not up. You choose, listen to your body. So a little twist first, inhale, both hands up. Exhale, twist to the right. And if you're on your back, just pull your knees closer to your chest. If you're on your back, we're going to be here for a while, so what I want you to do is gradually walk your fingertips closer to the outside edges of your feet and start pulling from your ankles rather than your knees. Inhale one more time. Now with your exhale, release back to the center, lean back onto your butt, unwind your legs, straighten them out in front of you. So if you're on your back, you can do legs up the wall, grabbing your thighs. If you're seated, lean forward into a forward fold. So we'll be here again in a couple minutes. For now, instead of trying to yank and strive for getting deeper into the pose, just kind of see where you wound up. Again, think about pulling your toes back towards your nose. Use the strength of your shins to stretch out the back side of your leg. Inhale one more time. Now with your exhale, roll your spine up. Okay, so if you're seated, you're gonna come into a happy baby on your butt. If you're on your back, come into a happy baby on your back. So either way, grabbing your big toes to the outside edges of your feet. If you're seated, sit up a little bit taller. Start to kick your heels out a little bit wider. Same thing if you're on your back, you can do that same motion. Think about lifting your chest and your belly up between your feet. All right, guys, now if you're up, bend your knees just slightly, just roll onto your back. Everybody just kind of rock into a happy baby pose, little side to side, just a little bit of movement. Head on for a moment. Okay, so we got to get up and go through that whole sequence again here in a second. So we're going to do it a little bit dynamically. Release what you're grabbing. Squeeze your knees in towards your chest with your ankles crossed. From here, we're going to start to do a little rock. Hopefully I don't smash my tiny dog in the process. So as you rock, start to pick up a little bit of momentum. So in a second, you're going to plant your feet down, shoot your feet back. It's going to look like this. Crossed ankles, hands down, feet back, downward facing dog, or some other way. If some other way seems more appropriate. Don't worry, I'll get another try in a second if that looked like total garbage. Don't sweat it. Okay guys, right or left leg up, swing it up high. Swing it forward, set your knee down. So setting up in this kind of like half-hearted pigeon position. Think about sliding your right knee up towards your left foot. So you're just kind of getting this slight external rotation using that back leg. So both hands up just briefly. Bring your left hand down to your left thigh and just slide it down. So this whole time we're thinking about driving the hips forward. You should feel your glutes engaging a little bit. Remember to listen to your body instead of trying to force any of this. Let's take 3 more breaths. Relax your shoulders, dropping over a little bit more. Push your right hip especially forward. Inhale one more time. Exhale, slowly bring it back up. Bring both hands down. From here, just slide your right leg way back. Again, this is the point you're going to come onto your back if your knees are irritated at all. Long spine. Exhale, fold forward into a nice easy pigeon pose. If you're on your back, keep both ankles engaged. You should feel the tendons around your knees and ankles starting to work. One more big breath down here. Now with your exhale, if you're up, start to walk your chest up a little bit. So again, finding this subtle little back bend. If you're on your back, just hang out with that stretch a little bit longer. Again, if you want this slightly more advanced version, left hand to left thigh, reach back and capture your right foot with your right hand. Eventually, you're sliding your foot into the crook of your elbow. So that's what you're working towards. Think about pressing down into your thighs a little bit so you're activating your legs even as you stretch. Just for 3, 2, and 1. Careful release. Start to make your way into that cross-legged position. So sliding your left knee or your right knee behind your left knee, crisscrossed. If you're seated up, walk your ankles out a little bit wider. Simple twist to start. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, twist to the left. Two more breaths. Stay active in the posture. If your knees are crossed on your back, pull your ankles a little bit wider if you can. And then slow motion release. Back to the center. Lean back, unwind your legs. Shake them out a little bit. This time we're going to go the other way. Bend your knees slightly, point your toes down towards the ground. Walk your hands back behind you like this, so you're making kind of a W with your hands behind you. Lift your chest up. Press your toes, feet down, lift your hips up high. Press down like you're trying to drag your feet back, maybe straighten your legs a little bit more, or bend if that feels like it's going to protect your legs or your hamstrings. Lift up. 3 more breaths. Inhale again. Exhale, tailbone down. Walk your hands out to the sides of your thighs. Pull your knees in, start to straighten. If you're tired, you're probably going to have more bend in your knees. Either way, try to really lift your chest. Maybe your arms extend out next to your knees. Inhale again. Exhale, low boat pose. Small of your back to the ground. Bend your knees if you need to. Hands behind your head if your neck needs support. Listen to your body. 5, 4, 3, 2, big inhale. 1, back up to your boat pose. Okay, palms together, legs out wide. We're just gonna do a little pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. What's going on there, Kimmy? 5, 4, 3. She's having a great time, folks. 2, 1. Set your ankles down. Slide them a little bit wider if you got some room. Whew. I do that one a lot in class and it just never gets easier. So if that was hard, don't feel bad about it. All right, guys, so find a little pelvic tilt here. So think about lifting your chest, rolling your hips down and forwards. So you can start with your hands back here, especially if you're a little bit tighter. Pull your toes back towards your kneecaps. Inhale, lift, lean forward. Maybe hands crawl out if that feels somewhat effortless. You got 10 breaths. I want you guys to work into this with each passing inhale and exhale. So if you're pressing from behind, inhale long spine, exhale, lean a little bit more. Again, think about pulling your toes back towards your shins, kneecaps pointing up towards the sky. You got 8 more breaths. Stay focused and engaged with your practice, guys. Stay with it. Find that length through your torso, through your arms, just like you were in downward dog, really reaching. Draw your belly in with your exhales. Let's take one more breath here. All right, start to walk your hands back. So we're just gonna alternate between legs now. Lean back a little bit. Bend your right leg, bring the sole of your right foot to your inner left thigh. So you can kind of even shimmy forward a little bit, like you're trying to get your heel up in your groin slightly. Square your chest towards your thigh. If you're super tight in the hamstrings, you're just gonna work on folding over your thigh like this. You're probably gonna be reaching a little bit. If you got a little bit more room, crisscross. More practice, you can take the revolve version. Left fingertips to inner arch, right hand comes up, either here or all the way across to grab your foot. Go say hi to Wanda, buddy. Couple more breaths here too. If you feel like this is a struggle for you, maybe back off a little bit. Pick one of the easier options. Remember, we're trying to find compassion for our bodies in our practice, not forcing them to do things they're not capable of doing. Slowly release whatever you're grabbing. Lean back a little bit. Reset that right leg out, nice and long. Reset the left leg inner thigh. So again, make any necessary adjustments. You can close the gap between your heel a little bit more. That's just a little bit more compressive for your knee, so listen to it. Chest lifts, fold forward. Maybe this side feels different. Maybe you accommodate that in a different way. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, reach, grab, and twist or twist. You choose. Hey. Find a little bit more. Use your breath, guys. Slow motion release. Bring it back to the center. Just like before, lean back, stretch that leg out. So one last little piece, just kind of get some dynamic movement here. If you were back here before, just working on curling your hands out a little bit. If you're out further, coming down a little bit more. So we're just gonna do kind of like a sweep. So a little bit more of like a brisk motion for this one. So you're gonna reach over towards your left foot and then all the way over towards your right foot. We're just gonna do this little side to side sweep. You could be up here, you could be down here. And start to make it a little bit bigger, bring in a little bit of twist, maybe even reaching into the outer leg. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to the middle. Okay, round 2, grab your big toes. We're not gonna be here long. We'll use it as a transition pose because I promise you get a chance to do that roll into chaturanga thing. So find it here, maybe heels out wide. Just for one more breath, sit up a little bit taller if you can. Exhale, roll back. So let's get right into it. If you're just like, I'm over this and I'm tired, take a bridge pose, that's fine. Just work into something else. If you want to try that other move again though, cross your hands and you're gonna shoot your feet back, plank position, lower down, slide through, downward facing dog. Now if you did it, See if you can hop through, come down onto your back. If none of this is in the cards for you, don't sweat it. We're gonna try it one more time. If you're crossing your ankles one way, try the other way. Here we go. Rock and roll. Plant your hands, feet back, lower down. Inhale, chest lifts. Downward facing dog, press back a lot. Spring forward, sit down on your back or roll on your back again. Nice work, guys. Once you get there, cross your right leg over your left leg. So kind of like when you were here before, except you're not grabbing anything. Just bring your arms out like a T. Drop both knees over to the right. Then with an exhale, back to the center, unwind, and then rewind with the left leg on top. Drop both knees over to the left. And with an exhale, back to the middle. Unwind your legs completely, soles of the feet down. Everybody up into a bridge pose. So you got two options. You want to take 10 breaths in a bridge pose, just hanging out here, maybe grabbing the edges of your mat and walking your shoulders closer to your heels. If you're a little bit more practiced, you're looking for more of a challenging position. Thumbs down next to your ears, palms pressing into the mat. Lift up into a wheel pose. If you're doing wheel pose, press back. Press your chest back and imagine you're squeezing a block between your knees. Remember, we're here for a little while, so if you need to come out of it early, please do. Listen to your back, listen to your body. Hips up a little bit higher either way. Slowly bring yourself down, rolling one vertebrae onto the at a time. Hips to the ground. Walk your feet out a little bit wider. Become knock-kneed, so knees in, out. Just letting your low back relax. For your final forward fold of the class, options either legs up the wall, grabbing the backs of your thighs for support, shoulder stand, plow pose. If you're taking plow pose or shoulder stand, just make sure you're not putting any pressure on your neck. Just feel the sensation of the blood flowing down into your face and your brain. Take 2 more big breaths here. So as you come down, make the commitment to roll your spine down as slowly as you can. Use some of that core strength that you've been utilizing all the way through class to roll one vertebrae down at a time. Good. Good control, good discipline. And then just slowly extend your legs out onto the ground in front of you, whatever way you need to get there. Making your way into your final Shavasana, guys, just relax everything. In reality, this is the reason that we come and practice yoga, so we can work on this. So making any final adjustments, covering your face perhaps, sunglasses, whatever you need. If you can make the commitment just to not move a muscle for about the next 3 minutes. Just see if you can do it. As you begin to wind down your practice this morning, guys, just take a moment, using that same kind of context of the metta meditation that we started with, remembering that your yoga practice is a practice of self-love. So every day when you roll out your yoga mat, you learn a little bit more about your limits, what feels good, what doesn't, what makes you happy and what doesn't make you happy. For these final couple breaths in your practice this morning, just take a moment to wish yourself peace, joy, calm. And finally, just to see if you can relieve even just a little bit of suffering in one way or another. May help to invoke something that the Hawaiians call the Hoponopono Prayer, which simply just means, thank you, I love you, forgive me, I'm sorry. Basically expresses all of the deepest needs of human emotion. See if you can identify the smallest possible movement that you can make with your body right now. Maybe you're rolling your eyes around in your head a little bit. Maybe you're moving your tongue. Maybe you're moving your nose. And start to just gradually make the movements around that little movement a little bit bigger. So maybe moving your jaw. Maybe wiggling your ears a little bit, or your fingers, or your toes, or making those slightly bigger movements into even bigger movements, like rolling your ankles and slightly bending your knees and elbows. When you're ready to do so, reach both arms up above your head, stretch your whole body out if you want to. Exhale and relax once again. And again, if you want to, roll onto one side of your body. Or just stay lying down if that feels better. If you chose to roll over, slowly make your way up to a seated position. Take your time. Use your hands to guide you. See if you can keep your eyes closed. And see if you can find that same seated position where we started an hour and 15 minutes ago. Notice if your spine is a little bit taller, see how your hips feel. And one final time, relax all the muscles in your face, the corners of your eyes, your jaw, your brow. Just completely relax. Bringing your hands to a prayer position in front of your chest, just bowing your head, taking a moment of gratitude for your healthy body and your healthy mind. And one final act of self-love, just finding something to be grateful for, because there's no guarantee that we can come back out here and do this stuff again tomorrow. Make your way into the rest of your Sunday with grace and ease, guys. Thank you all for coming, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste. To you as well. Thanks, guys. If you have any questions, again, my name's Cameron. All of you new folks, thank you for coming. Love to have you back. I'm here every Sunday, same format, slightly less Valentine's Day preachy. But yeah, and if you want to read the story about my mom, I think it's a pretty good piece of writing. So I'm putting that up on my blog at everymanyoga.com tonight. So yeah, it is intense. It was very difficult to write, but if you've encountered any loss, I feel like I'm putting it out there in the world for other people to kind of share. So thanks. And it's long.